Yes, we are early here on Forever United TV this afternoon, and there's a reason for it. Because, of course, we have breaking news. We have a huge transfer update on Bryan Mbeumo and that move from Brentford to Manchester United. The here we go isn't here just yet, but my God, it is just around the corner. I think some people have actually beaten Fabrizio Romano to the here we go on this one. Credit to my guy Sully Talks for dropping this absolute transfer bomber earlier on today. He said it in the last hour, actually, to his credit. I've messaged him since. He's told me what the script is and what is going on. I can bring it to you right now. Bryan Mbeumo, not just through what Sully has said, some big journalists have now come out and said has his medical booked at Manchester United. There is a full agreement. Everything is agreed. And it isn't long until we get the sign, sealed and delivered. Bryan Mbeumo pictures walking through Carrington, signing that contract at Manchester United. We've got an update on the wages that he's going to be on as well. All the contract talk and what has happened. We're going to bring it all down, get your thoughts on it. We are live, everybody. It has been one of them epic days. I didn't think I'd be doing a show this early tonight. And of course, I will be back later again. If anything else drops, you know me, when it's live and it's important, well, I'm live, it's usually important, and this is important, and it doesn't stop there. We may be doing what we've got so far, we've got 3, we may be doing a quadruple show today. We brought you the update on Jadon Sancho as well earlier on at midday. There has been more updates on that, actually, as well, which we will bring you on this live show. By the way, if I didn't actually say what this was, this is Forever United TV. I'm Adam, welcome along to the live show, everybody. And yes, we do have the most significant well, we thought it was significant on Sunday, and we did say on Sunday that this was happening. Credit to Rudy Galletti for saying that this deal was agreed. Everybody has piled in since then over the last couple of days, and then today, wham bam, thank you ma'am, in you go. Medicals booked for Bryan Mbeumo, and that has come from Ben Jacobs in recent hours as well. Manchester United have been given the green light. Brentford is allowing Bryan Mbeumo to head to Manchester when he's back off his holiday, which is why this isn't going to get the here we go just yet, because Mbeumo is still on his holiday. This is pretty similar to the situation Liverpool had with Florian Wirtz, but now Bryan Mbeumo has had the phone call. Get to Carrington, my friend. You are going to be a Red. And you are going to be the next big signing this summer for Manchester United. I went on the wind-up earlier on X. I just put it out there. I retweeted Sully's post on this news and this breaking news saying, I thought Man United were going slow. I thought it was all slow this transfer window. And still you have the pile-on of negative Nancy's. Apparently Man United have got more delays. Apparently Manchester United are moving too slow. We can't get deals done. Well, I'm sorry to get 2 deals this significant done in the space of a month of the window being open. This is epic for Manchester United. So you're on this channel for a reason, because you don't want to listen to the shit and the negative crap that everyone else is trying to drive down your throats. You're here because you feel like Manchester United have actually done good business. And I'm telling you what, Bryan Mbeumo is significant, absolutely significant. In fact, because we've actually signed Bryan Mbeumo and he's on his way for his medical, we got 87,000 subscribers as a big celebration. So, yes. What a way to start the show as well. Bang, 87,000 subscribers just like that. And Bryan Mbeumo on his way to Manchester for a medical. Not like, I don't know if he's cutting his holiday short or anything like that. But yes, I'll just read through the actual news as it broke. But this is it pretty much broken down with everything that's actually going on right now with Bryan Mbeumo. So, Sully came out with the reports earlier on. Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United is said to be imminent after a breakthrough in negotiations this morning. That was the first sign of something happening. Manchester United are edging closer to a full agreement with Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo. That was up by Ben Jacobs just after lunchtime today, in fact. And now we have had the biggest one yet, which is Bryan Mbeumo has reached a full agreement on personal terms with Manchester United, set to earn approximately £165,000 per week, which is great news as well. Manchester United have reached an agreement with Brentford to sign Bryan Mbeumo, deal for the 25-year-old attacker worth 65 in total package. Nothing more. and nothing more expected after that. Brentford were thought to be trying to negotiate a couple of extra mil in the add-on section of this. I don't know if that is going to be part of why this has been agreed and gone so quickly, because United, I don't think, are going to have an issue with add-ons right now. They've given Brentford what they want, and this was the agreement that was going to get this deal moving, which was the money up front for Brentford. That has been agreed, and now obviously we're looking at everything else past that, which is now, like we said, personal terms already in place and a permission given to do a medical paperwork stage. An official club announcement will come next. That is where we are officially at right now with Bryan Mbeumo, and that has been covered by everybody. Even Fabrizio Romano, who did a show earlier on and didn't touch on this, has tweeted out since then saying Bryan Mbeumo always dreamt about going to Manchester United. It was always going to be Manchester United. It's as simple as that. In fact, if you wanted to have a right laugh and you dug right in onto X right now, you would see that there are still Spurs fans out there and Spurs accounts actually saying that Daniel Levy is still trying his best and trying today to get this deal done and steal Bryan Mbeumo from Manchester United. Honestly, that was laughable from the Darren Lewis report from the Mirror. The day that came out, I knew that Man United were going to sign Bryan Mbeumo. There was not a chance in hell that Darren Lewis had an inside scoop there regarding Bryan Mbeumo not going to Manchester United. That was confirmation enough for me that this deal was going to be a Manchester United deal. It was never in danger. It never was in danger for me, and that's what everybody said. Everybody who was close to this and everybody reputable has always said that Bryan Mbeumo wants United. He doesn't want to discuss anything with any other club unless United pull out of the deal with Brentford. And that was never going to be the case. United were always confident. They tested the water with the first bid. The first bid went in, 45 plus the add-ons. We got to 55. It is now thought that there is going to be a lot more down, and obviously there is going to be some add-ons with that on top. But Manchester United have met Brentford's price in terms of what they want up front. And that was the killer. That was the one that got it done. And now Manchester United can move forward in bringing Bryan Mbeumo in and doing the necessaries. And like we said before, Bryan Mbeumo has already agreed and verbally agreed to the contract at Manchester United. It will be a 5-year deal with an added 6 on top, 165 grand a week. It's pretty much exactly the same deal that Manchester United just negotiated for Matheus Cunha from Wolves. That, I think, is two massive, absolutely huge pieces of business and very impressive pieces of business for Manchester United. I'm going to open up the chat in just one moment, but yes, that is your news. To go over it just one more time so you're clear on what has been broken. Bryan Mbeumo has been given permission by Brentford to have his Manchester United medical and sign contracts. The agreement is in place with both clubs and it is just under 65 million euros. That is euros, no, pounds, sorry, not euros. Don't know why I'm on euros. I think that was probably the Jadon Sancho story that's running around in my head still from earlier on. Bryan Mbeumo told Brentford that going to Manchester United is a dream move for him and he would like to go as soon as possible. That's what he told Brentford, and that was all you needed to know in terms of this deal and where it was going to end up going. Manchester United, and only Manchester United. And we said it from day dot, before it got announced by David Ornstein. We was there. I was in Lanzarote. You all remember the show at the start of this month. And people have been bitching and moaning and going on why United are moving so slow and all of this crap. And I'm thinking, 3 weeks later, this deal is pretty much wrapped up. Everything's agreed. That's not bleeding bad. That is not bad. Since when have Manchester United had 2 players of this quality already in and heading into pre-season with them? It is good business for Manchester United, this. Extremely good business. And you know what? These are not players that we are going to be wondering how they're going to do. We have bought guarantees in terms of absolute Premier League quality. And this, I think, is definitely the most impressive transfer window that we've had. Start of a transfer window we've had in a long, long time. And obviously, like we've said before, the importance of getting this over the line and getting this done is now obviously clear for Manchester United, or has cleared the way to start concentrating on other business in terms of getting players out, so we can actually start bringing other players in for this for Ruben Amorim's project. But we'll get into the comments before we move on to that and where we're at with that, because there is updates and all of that as well, which I'm going to bring you all. So we'll get into the comments and let me know what you're thinking, everybody, please. Absolutely, I'm over the moon with this. I'm buzzing that we're at this stage already. Like I said, we are just, not even through the first month. If we could get Cunha and Mbeumo done in 1 month, that would have been great business for Manchester United. And we're there. We are there, people. It is actually happening now, which is great. We have a great poll up as well. This is going to test you right now. If you haven't been watching live and you want to get involved in this, just drop your comments in the comment section below as well. Who will get the most goal involvements in the 2025-26 season? Who is your pick? Bryan Mbeumo or Matheus Cunha? Which one is it going to be? Get into that poll and talk to me, everybody. We're going to keep you up to date with everything as it develops. I'm going to keep in front of absolutely everything that is going on with this deal for Bryan Mbeumo. I'm not... let me just see now. Double checking everything. Double check that. Yes, right, got it. Just checking out on everything that might have happened. Oh, God, yeah. Actually, 52 minutes ago, I've just found the one I was looking for. This is from the Daily Mirror. Tottenham Hotspur have not, in capital letters, given up on Bryan Mbeumo. Daniel Levy is still working incredibly hard to beat Manchester United to Bryan Mbeumo. Darren Lewis, give it up, mate. The deal is done. It's time to let it go. You was wrong in the first place. You was wrong when you broke the article. And it is still wrong now, my friend. You are not the man for transfer news. Let it go, my friend. He's going to be having a medical at Manchester United. How much more is he going to try and cling on to that bleeding story? Oh, my God. I mean, the guy's desperate, is he not? Wow. Anyway, looking at everything that has developed over the afternoon, let's get into the comment section and see where you're all up to on this one. And Mbeumo is a fantastic signing along with Cunha. It has greatly strengthened our attack, and now we sell players to bring new ones in. One thing is for sure, it's going to be a much better season than last. I agree with that one. Well said, Andrew. Ashley says, I really don't think we need a striker now. That's interesting. We have great players, unlikely to get much time next season. I think we should try and use Xerxes and Mainu in the 9 position. Well, no, straight away, Mainu, that is a big red flag. We've already tried it. He's not quick enough, not strong enough, and isn't as good in the box. He's good outside the box. Mainu is never going to be a striker. Xerxes has already been quoted from Ruben Amorim as to saying he isn't a number 9. He's more like a 9.5/10, so he's not going to do it. Obviously, we've only got Rasmus Højlund and we've got Chido Obi, that's it. There has to be another striker coming for Manchester United, I feel, and this is what all work now is going to be aimed at. I think the 8 and the 9 now look likely to be Manchester United's top priorities. Talk more about that in a moment. Markash says, I think Cunha and Mbeumo will both play as 9 at some point. The pure interchanges of the front three will be amazing when we get that striker. I think a DM will be next, goalkeeper, then striker last. Anyway, honestly, mate, and what you said there, Mark, and the way that this window is actually motoring now and completely moving around, I do see there being a possibility where the striker comes in late in the window. Although I have got the update on Jadon Sancho coming up. If you haven't watched the video earlier on already, loads of you already have, and thank you again for all of your comments on that one. I made a bit of a joke about Jadon Sancho being sold 3 times and United getting 63 million for him, but look, we can all have a bit of a laugh with the situation, can't we? I'll bring up that in a moment. I want to get through a few more questions and a few more comments regarding Bryan Mbeumo's news today, please, everybody. Hit me up with that. Give me your initial thoughts. What's going in your head right now? What's going on in there? Talk to me, everybody. Who do you think we will actually bring in as a striker? I think that is the focus point. If we can bring in a keeper after that, do it. Then midfield needs reinforcements. I think the goalkeeping one, I've got my opinion on this, actually. So just hear me out on this in a little bit, actually, with the goalkeeping one. Midnight Lover, hi Adam, thanks for being on top of and positive, unlike other channels, or may I say channel. That's why most people are defecting from them and coming to you on FUTV. Truth, thank you. I love that, mate. Appreciate that a lot. Absolutely. They're the best comments that I get. Thank you, everyone. It has been a great summer so far, and I really do appreciate the people coming over. I'm feeling positive and coming away from the shows like they have taken something from them. Like, it's not just being fed the negative crap that we are expecting. Call a spade a spade. When you see something positive, you call it out. You don't try and dig out the negatives constantly out of things. I think if United get this window right, there isn't going to be much negative to talk about, because we're running out of players, if we do get the plan right this summer, to be really trying to find a negative in anything. And I pray that this works out for Ruben, because like I've said it, and you've all heard me say it last season, from the get-go, things are not going to go well on the pitch, but I back Ruben Amorim. I'm concerned for him, but I still back him, because he has attacked the issue at United face on. And this 6-month period that Omar Barada was talking about the other day, in talking about how Manchester United have now seen the pain that Ruben's gone through and what this team, what this squad are really capable of, nothing. We do really need to do business, and they've put several plans in place. I do believe it was Cunha, then a striker. I think Mbeumo was going to be a bonus later down the line. I really do. But now Manchester United didn't get that striker straight out. They've made sure that they've got Mbeumo sealed. And now we know with this news today from Sully that Mbeumo is on his way to Carrington after his holiday, after his vacation. We've all seen the pictures of him away. He is going to be heading to Manchester United for his medical. And the agreement is in place. It's going to be less than 65 million, which is exactly what we were all talking about. That was our max. United haven't gone any further than that. It is absolutely brilliant news that this is happening. And I can't help but feel more confident just with the calibre of player that's been brought in these two signings. That's how it feels. It lifts you, doesn't it? It lifts you as a United fan, thinking that we haven't got Garnacho on one side, mopsing around, not knowing what he's doing. The inconsistency of Bruno in a 10 or an 8, and I'm not having a go at Bruno there, but he was here, there, bleeding everywhere. Mount trying to find his way back. Xerxes uncertain. Mainu in and out of positions. We're buying players that we know are going to play in one particular position. Yeah, we can talk about the rotation and Mbeumo and Cunha actually maybe doing a bit of a job in the 9 role, but still, the fact that we know we're bringing in surefire players for a certain role that know this system with Ruben Amorim at the crucial point of this system in the number 10s, that's massive. It's absolutely huge for him. It really is. I think the defence is near enough sorted at the back. The three at the back, we cannot complain at the moment. Dorgu's in one side, you'll have Ahmad on the other side in terms of the wing backs. It's not a bad looking side. If you do go out and get an 8 and a 10 after that 9, if you get them 3 players now and you absolutely destroy the spine of this side, rip it out and just put these players in, this is a different ball game altogether. And you could get that Nottingham Forest season that they had last season, having coming close to bleeding relegation, like us, and surviving, and then going on to European places. Nottingham Forest are the exact example of where Manchester United can go if we get the recruitment right this summer. The proof is there. Everybody's seen it. This can happen. And it's without European football that I'm confident that we can make this happen. We have to take advantage of not having an overload in games. There's no excuse for Ruben. Obviously, if we do get these extra 3 players now, then we are going to be looking at, really, him. That's it. We cannot. We know that these players have done it in the Premier League. That's the thing. If he can't get a tune out of Mbeumo and Cunha, who want to be at Manchester United, both in fact saying that this is a dream move. 2 of the highest performing players in the Premier League in their positions last season, calling out Manchester United as their dream move. If you cannot make something happen with that, then Ruben's got a big problem. But either way, Ruben or not, these are signings for the next 5 to 6, 7 years maybe for Manchester United. Half a decade's worth of quality in that position. This has to be and go down as one of the best recruitment setups that we've had so far. One of the best recruitment windows we've had so far. And you can argue the point, yeah, Adam, they're just buying up the obvious. But when have Manchester United ever done the obvious? That's my point. That is my point with it. Anyway, Let's get some more comments on this before we move on to the other news as well. We are running the show all the way through, everybody. So get plenty of comments in. We've got plenty of time to run it, so it's going to be a long one. So we're going to get as much of your comments in and much of your thoughts in as possible. There is another poll running right now, which is who will we buy? Who will buy a striker first? Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought then for a moment. Who will buy a striker first is the poll. Arsenal or Man United? Arsenal have still not bought a striker, by the way. Still not bought a striker. Going for Norgard now from Brentford. Brentford are probably... I think Brentford are probably one of the favourites to be in a relegation fight next season. Going off this. It's not looking good for them. Don't get me wrong. They might actually get some decent players in themselves, but I'm looking at Brentford right now and I'm a bit concerned if I'm a Brentford fan. New manager, main man gone, captain. You know what I mean? It's not looking good. They need to keep on to a few players. They do. Thank you everybody who has liked the video already. And the loads of you that have subscribed. Obviously, it's absolutely amazing. We did just pass 87,000 as we started the show. Bang on the start button, actually. And look at the score already. We're already motoring ahead. So if you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button. And obviously, make sure that you give the video a like as well. And more importantly, in fact, get your comments in, everyone. Cunha and Mbeumo, double strikers, and Bruno behind them. Sorry, I can't read that name because it's in a different language, but you know what I mean. Look, the rotation could bring us a few different scenarios. I'm still, we've got a chance. Hoping United buy a striker, though. Can't get away from that. Now buy a striker, a midfielder, and a goalkeeper. Mbeumo and Visa could thrive again for United. They were great tandem for Brentford. Me, question mark, Jinx, you clearly don't know me very well. I'm not sure what that's about. Someone's having a private conversation there, I think. Sesko did start following Arsenal. I've seen that before, actually. So does that mean that Sesko's going to sign for Arsenal now? Chris G says 100k soon, Adam. Hopefully, mate. We're at literally less than 13,000 away from 100k. Subscribers. That sounds mental. That really does. That's actually quite it takes you back a little bit considering how long we've actually been going. I've moved really fast. Again, like I know I go on about it all the time, but thank you everybody again if you have been subscribed, and obviously I've been a part of the channel for a while. It's you guys who make the show, not just me. Adam Adon Josera, we must Afetu, I think is how you say that. It's someone that Manchester United are looking at. But in terms of the midfielders right now, obviously we've got Jazira, we've got Douglas Luiz, Polina linked with Manchester United, of course. You've got Hayden Hackney, you've got a couple of other players linked in that midfield area for Manchester United right now. And you know what? Not many strikers. So when we're talking now that Mbeumo's done and we're looking for the next player to come in, I think there's actually a bigger chance of it being a goalkeeper and a midfielder right now, because in terms of the situation with Jadon Sancho earlier on, by the way, Juventus today has had concrete talks with Jadon Sancho. Now, I reported earlier on the video at midday with all the details of this, but there are being discussed at the moment. Jadon Sancho's personal terms are still an issue, as you'd expect them to be. We always knew this. Manchester United and Juventus, though, and the interesting line that came out of the latest report after that video was, in fact, working on creative ways to make this sale happen. Creative. Now, that takes us into the swap territory with what's happening, and I spoke about this earlier on. Vlahovic in a swap, or Douglas Luiz in a swap for Jadon Sancho on less wages than what Jadon Sancho's on, with hardly any repayments on a player that's going to feature for Manchester United more prominently than what Jadon Sancho would. This is a deal that Manchester United, I think, are giving serious consideration to now. No update on Fenerbahce or Napoli today. It's Juventus' day to take their turn. It's Juventus' turn to take charge of the Jadon Sancho rumour mill right now. But Sancho could indeed not just bring Manchester United money, but bring Manchester United a player that they actually need in the team right now. And I think that's what the interesting thing is with Juventus, because they have got a couple of players there. So maybe, like we said, yeah, Bryan Mbeumo deal looks like it's completely done now, like we've said. And what comes after that? Everybody's talking about what might happen next. Well, with Bryan Mbeumo done, I think Manchester United, everybody naturally would have thought, well, here we go, let's just go and get that striker in. Not the case. It could actually be the midfielder now, or indeed the goalkeeper. And another interesting situation developing is the Diogo Costa goalkeeper situation right now, in that Ruben Amorim has actually spoken to Diogo Costa in January. And let's not forget, Ruben arrived in November, and already within a couple of months he's realised what Andre Onana is. So you can talk and listen all you want to everybody at Manchester United building up these stats. I seen someone, I think it was Statman Dave, with the most ridiculous stat over Emi Martinez and Andre Onana before. In terms of mistakes leading to shots on goal. What about mistakes leading to goals rather than shots? Every goalkeeper, you could argue, within the stat realm would actually give up an opportunity at some point in making a mistake. Let's talk about not just shots, what about goals? Everybody can drive their own agendas is what I'm saying in this one. And I think there has been this big love affair for Andre Onana all of a sudden. But I think in Ruben's head, I do believe that he is hell-bent on getting another goalkeeper in for Manchester United. And that 50 million release clause, that could be big for Manchester United to actually get this deal done. But the fact that Ruben, according to these reports, has already spoken to Diogo Costa in January about a potential move, it tells me that this has actually got legs. And you could see something dragging out until the end of the window, in fact, with Diogo Costa, or even any goalkeeper. So don't think that because nothing is happening on the goalkeeping front, that's going to be an issue for Manchester United. I think we are fully willing to play the long game with it. Fully willing. Manchester United will wear the new home shirt for the first time at Old Trafford when they face Fiorentina on the 9th of August. So not wearing the shirt, actually not wearing the shirt on tour, it would seem, which is strange. I thought United would have been in the new kit just to try and sell it. That doesn't seem right, that. Or would it be the first time at Old Trafford we would have been wearing the shirts? Right, that probably means what it is. Yeah, I probably read that wrong there. I'm sorry, everybody. But yes, the first time the new shirt will be worn at Old Trafford will be the Fiorentina game on David De Gea's return. Interesting if Moise Kean is playing in that game, because that's another player that Man United have been linked with as well on that one. Let's get some more comments on everything that's going on. Congratulations to Johnny Evans and good luck to him in his new role, supervising the players out on loan. Johnny feeding first-class intel back to Ruben, ensuring loaned players still have a future. That could be a big role to play, actually, because Manchester United definitely do not make the most of that loan market. Whether it's loaning players in or if it's sending players out to the right clubs. Johnny Evans definitely will be a good servant for Manchester United in any role. But that one actually does suit him quite well. So good comment there, Spirit, actually. Good to remember them little jobs that are going on behind the scene as well. If we win the league next season, everyone in the chat owes me £1. And if we finish outside the top 3, I will send Adam £50. Yeah, I would like to see you keep that bet, Nico. We will see. We'll all hold you to it. Somebody screenshot that comment right there for Nico to make sure that you bring him back up on that, please, everybody. I'm not bothered. You can give 50 quid back. I'll put it into charity, mate, if you want to do that bet. I'm not saying that I'm not confident United can't make the top 3, by the way. I'm just realistic. I feel like Manchester United can get back in Europe next season. At the moment, with every signing that we make and the quality of signings that we are making, like we're talking about now, I do have more and more confidence that Manchester United are going places next season. And we are definitely going to be, I think, making our mark on that table next season. So excited to actually see quality players coming in and actual players that have done it already. That shouldn't be right, and we shouldn't be judging players just off them solely playing in the Premier League. But because United haven't done it for so long, and we for some reason have decided never to buy players from the Premier League, and I mean, like, seriously, the ratio from overseas players or players outside the Premier League to players inside the Premier League that United have bought over the last 10 years is staggering. If you want to go and look the stat up, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Trust me on that one. You would not believe it if you've seen it. But we're changing that now. And it does look like we are going to be able to get some more of them players in, it would seem. Especially if we do go through with the Jadon Sancho move to Juventus. That is going to be an interesting one in terms of the development of potential signings for United. And in a way, it's a two birds with one stone kind of situation with that, isn't it? I know that like swaps are never ideal because the playoff that you're swapping somebody for might not actually want to come to Manchester United. Well, I think that we know for certain that Dusan Vlahovic wants to come to Manchester United. In fact, talks have already been held. Obviously, Juventus are in for Sancho. Sancho doesn't give a shit about Man United, so he's going to be gone. And Douglas Luiz as well. This for the first time, actually, I would feel like this might actually work out all right for Manchester United when it comes to this potential swap deal. I do think that we could actually make something happen from this. Look, still not my ideal situation or my ideal scenario for Manchester United. I don't think that it's where we should be going regards the transfer business. I think we should be selling Sancho and getting the money and making sure that we get the play that Ruben wants. Don't just look at this Juventus deal and go for it because we could possibly swap him for somebody. Unless Ruben Amorim really wants this player, unless you have scouted this player and know that he fits the system in some way. I would rather have Douglas Luiz than Dusan Vlahovic, is my personal opinion when it comes to taking anybody from Juventus. And I don't know what you guys would think with that one, but just let me know on it anyway. By the way, everybody, again, just a quick one regarding the shirts. We've been wearing the shirts constantly all week. The retro shirts and the special shirts, the Manchester United up-to-date shirts as well. All on the link in the live chat right now, everybody. As little as 15 quid for some absolute doozies. All of the retro kits on there. All of the specialist shirts, including the purple one that I always wear on my streams. Just doing a bit of a wash at the moment. Just getting everything clean again. So, not got it on at the moment. But yes, it will be... it will be on there for you anyway if you want to take that one, and some great training kit stuff as well. So go check it out, everybody. Go check it out. That's where I get mine from anyway. CR7 is the GOAT. It says, Adam, sell Rashford too. He's clearly not serious. I wish we could sell Rashford, mate. It looks like that one's probably going to be a loan, if anything, for Marcus Rashford. Doesn't look like that he's working out for us the way we want it to. Barcelona pushing on the loan side of things for Marcus. Any striker would thrive with these kind of players. Cunha, Bruno and Mbeumo, all creative. We just need a new striker and a keeper for now. Midfield is fine with Collier and Agate. Most of that was right, mate, I would say there, Ayoku. But the midfield, I have to disagree with that. We do need more players in midfield. I don't think Collier is up to it. Personally, I've not seen enough, and I don't know if we're going to get to see enough. United, with what we're talking about with the Casemiro situation, you would have thought actually would have pushed Collier back into the fray and possibly give him a better chance. Not the case. If Manchester United do sell Casemiro, they are going to be bringing in other players. And the story today, early on that we were talking about Manchester United possibly looking at Ndidi if Casemiro goes, I think it would be Ndidi and somebody else. Because Ndidi is not a player you would be bringing in to just out-and-out replace Casemiro. That's unfair on Casemiro, and it's a bit of a disrespect to him, I feel. I think we still need another midfielder now, even if Casemiro stays. So if Cas goes, then expect two, I would say. Two midfielders to come in. And you could look at the situation right now. United could easily, let's just say, in a position that we're in, you sell Jadon Sancho and you maybe bring Douglas Luiz in the opposite way. Douglas Luiz is on less wages than Jadon Sancho, and it's easy for Manchester United to set up a payment plan to pay Douglas Luiz. So straight away we're saving money on PSR. Bang, there's one midfielder extra. If Casemiro goes, you could bring in another player. Maybe you could bring in Paulinho as well. He's only 30 million. Or maybe United try and be creative and just go out into the market and say, all right, Bayern, he's unsure. You want to give him a bit of a chance? We'll take him on loan and pay his wages for one season. There you go. There's another midfielder in. This is This is where we're at right now, I think, Manchester United. In getting our main targets in, the 2 top targets for this summer. And remember, Ruben said we can bring in 1 or 2 top players. This, I think, is exactly where United wanted to be going into the July month, personally. Don't forget to play Match Bingo, guys. That link is in the chat also. Please, yep. Hey, Adam, are you training cars in? Are you training cars in to join the show with you? Stephen, Kaz, if I'm guessing right now, if she was going to answer that question, mate, she would say she doesn't need training. She would just come naturally in. But I guarantee you, if I asked her, she'd probably bottle it and not come on. So, yes. But in the new season, when we do start going to games, you will be seeing more of Kaz again. The vlogs will be back and Kaz will be on camera a little bit more. And she is very, very optimistic, by the way, with what is going on. She is with me on the positive train, by the way, with everything that's happening right now at Manchester United. It is full-on positive vibes. London has just renewed his membership. Legend. Thank you, mate. 100,000 subs. Here we go. Not far. In fact, we're nearly at 87. That means we've had nearly over 100 subs just on this video alone, which is absolutely brilliant. Love that. You guys are epic. Why doesn't United get loan deals? Sir Wilhelm, I'm just talking about that now, actually. Why don't we get loan deals in, he says. Do what the other teams do to us. Yeah, we can test out these players before buying. It seems simple, football, doesn't it, a lot of the time? And Sir Wilhelm in the chat, I completely agree with you, mate. Why don't United look into this? The best loan that we ever did was Carlos Tevez. I know that name is poison around Man United circles, but when we did that deal, that actually probably went a long way to Manchester United completing the double that season. That's how big a transfer Carlos Tevez was, and that wasn't even buying him, that was a loan. You can make things happen if you've got the recruitment team in place. Now we have, and I've said it forever and a day over the last few weeks now, since the Mbeumo news came out, which was a complete bonus, it really was. I was like, we get him done. And that's your big 2 signings. They're the 2 massive ones for Manchester United. Once they're done, that's it then. We can start playing around with everything else. You've secured your top 2. When have we ever made 2 signings like that, more than 2 signings like that in one window? Seriously, we haven't, have we? Significant signings where we know what the players are about and we know they are going to improve our first team instantly, without a doubt. We don't. Now we're looking to try and fill in the gaps now a little bit, because I think next summer there's going to be 2 more big signings coming in. I think this is how the windows are going to actually go. You're going to get key players in areas of a pitch that we are drastically lacking in. And that can be through numbers and not having many players there available. That can be through quality, like we're seeing with the 10s right now, because let's be clear, the 10 position is not an area of the pitch that Man United are running short on. But we've just moved one of our 10s out to right wing back and one of them out to 8 in midfield in Bruno and Ahmad, and brought 2 more in, with 2 more to cover them, or 3 more you could say, in Xerxes, Mainu and Mason Mount. So when Manchester United are going out into windows now, I think it's actually with a vision of, you know what, this is the area that we want to strengthen. These are the players that we have got. I actually feel like Mbeumo and Cunha were top of Manchester United's 10s list. I think they were 1 and 2. Personally, I don't think you can get better. I really don't. It ticks every single box. The age, the package, the wage structure, the experience, the creativity, the goals, the ambition, the character, everything that you need at Manchester United in that position is there in them 2 players. They have to have been the top picks for Manchester United without a shadow of a doubt. They had to have been number 1 and number 2 for our 10 positions. And yeah, we might not have made the striker, but I tell you what, having not got any European football, having our worst ever Premier League finish, to go out and get top 2 picks in that key position already, that I think is and does deserve a little bit of credit from the United fan base. But like I said earlier on, I tweeted. In fact, I'm going to do this as a bit of a laugh here, something a bit different. My notifications have gone through the bleeding roof as soon as I put this out. So all I did was retweeted Sully's tweet regarding this news on Bryan Mbeumo. Got 63 comments instantly. You can imagine. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Yes, in terms of sorry, I didn't say what I said. But United are moving slow in the market, right? Sarcastic comment that I made, and that's what I put to my tweets. And these are the comments that I got back. Yes, we are. We finished 15th and had the worst season in decades. Cunha was done centuries ago. Pre-season is next week, and you don't have a striker or a keeper in. When Liverpool and Manchester City have each bought like 5 players. Look, he's even guessing. He's even guessing, the lad. Like 5 or 6 players. Well, Liverpool have 3. And, yeah, City have 3 to answer that question. And I've explained that plenty of times before. My God. Well, Leao is another comment coming back. Yes, they definitely moving slowly. It took them 3 weeks to sign 1 player. Liverpool have signed 3 players in 3 weeks. I'm sorry, it took them 5 weeks to get Kirkes over the line. And no, it didn't take them 3 weeks to get bleeding Florian Wirtz over either. Oh my God, some people. Oh God. Confirm one signing confirmed, 0 outings. What do you think? Question mark. My God. Honestly, like, each to their own, and everyone's got an opinion. All I'll say is I completely disagree with every single one of them. And you know what? I'd be happy thinking the way I'm thinking, because God help what their lives are like. My God, it's doom and gloom, innit? You might as well not bother watching next season if you don't think Manchester United are doing bleeding good business. Christ. Oh, my days. Hulkaz doesn't turn into hello, welcome to... what's that one? No, sorry. Yeah, I missed it. It was the wrong message. It was something else. Nobody's going to say Kaz is going to turn into a big hello, welcome. I think Kaz, if she was opening a show, it would be totally different. I think I don't know actually how Kaz would open a show. I think she'd do it in her own little style actually, but let's see. She definitely won't do it the way that I do it. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe she'll come on a live show one day. We'll get her on and we'll get you all answering live comments. I think she would definitely bottle that. But it's up to you guys to get into the comment section and encourage Kaz to get onto a live show one day, so we can actually have a little bit of a ding dong and a bit of a debate session going on. Bring the old United couple back to a live show on FUTV. That would be something, wouldn't it, everybody? She'd be up for it. I'm sure she would. Indeed, he did that nasty tackle on Heaven, which ruined Heaven's debut. We can't forgive him as United fans. Look, we don't think about things like that. We always look at players for what they are. To be honest, I don't want Ndidi anywhere near my team. That ship sailed decades ago. No, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. He had a chance before, and I don't think United will be going in for him, honestly. I'm not saying that the rumours on Ndidi aren't there and are not true. All I'm saying is, I just feel like Ndidi right now, Ndidi do, would be way down Man United's list in terms of options. I think there are better players out there than Ndidi, and I think we've already talked about 2 of them on the show, in Douglas Luiz and João Palhinha. I think they would be Manchester United's options first. And to be honest, I don't care if he's 9 million. I've said this before. I don't care if Vlahovic is 17 million. I'm not looking for Manchester United to look for cheap deals just for the sake of filling gaps and to appease these numpties on X and on other social media who's having a go at me for trying to say that this window has actually been really positive and United have done good business. Honestly, it's sad. It is. RK says it won't be panic buying, but we will probably do a lot of business in the last week of the transfer window, taking a long time to sell. But once they're done, we may buy more. Yeah, we will buy more. We will. I at least expect 2 more players to come in for Manchester United this window. I would like 6. I think 6 is the right amount. Scott, thank you for joining the membership club, my friend. Love that, buddy. I think 6 was my mark in terms of real significant change for Manchester United. 6 signings is definitely where we should be. Will Cunha and Mbeumo not deliver for Højlund? Not develop Højlund, sorry. Could do. Might do. Again, it's different than playing with Garnacho on one side. and Mount or Bruno on the other. It's a totally different scenario right now. And do you know what the best thing with this is? Both of these players being in and being able to adapt instantly because Ruben Amorim's got a full pre-season with them. That is the best news that we could get. These were the two key signings that United needed to make. The striker I would have loved in. That's the only thing. If I was going to pick out a negative, and I was going to join all of the numpties that think that this has been a negative transfer window so far, if I was going to say I needed to bring a player in, I would pick a striker. Midfield and the goalkeeper can come later in the window. I would prefer a striker to be in this pre-season so Ruben can work on the whole system and the output and everything like that. But that's where we're actually at right now, I feel, and I think that's the ultimate, to be honest. Love this channel vibes. Keep up the great work, says Scott. Thank you, Scott, who's just joined as a member. Love that, mate. Thank you for your contribution there as well, mate. I'm going to wrap things up there, everybody. I think we've covered absolutely everything that is going on. We have been talking about Bryan Mbeumo, of course. Manchester United, just to go over the news once more, everybody, so you're completely up to date. Manchester United have indeed agreed terms with Brentford now, and Brentford have given Bryan Mbeumo permission to have his Manchester United medical. The Here We Go is coming soon. The only thing stopping it is Mr Mbeumo's holiday, because he's having a bit of a break after his epic season in the Premier League for Brentford. And then as soon as he finishes, he's on his way to Carrington to cross the T's and dot the I's on that 5/6 year contract on 165 grand a week, because that has also been confirmed today. Not the 250 grand, not Manchester United delaying anything, not Manchester United not working fast, Manchester United securing target 1 and 2 and adding real quality to Manchester United's starting lineup next season. They're the only facts and they're the only figures that you need worry about, my people. And that is it. We are done. Thank you, everybody. Mods, epic job. I know it was early tonight, everyone. Thank you for joining us early. Look, if there is more coming out later, we are going to be live. We are going to be covering it. Everyone's telling me to keep on going. Don't stop. Should we stop or should we keep on going, everyone? What do you reckon? Actually, do you know what? I will stop this live stream once we hit 1,000 likes on the live stream. So get to it, everybody. We're extending it now after I've just said we're shutting it down. So here's a challenge for you. Can you get the likes up to 1,000 before we finish? It's not often we get 1,000 live likes on the show, but it is big news. It's positive news. We are celebrating it in 87,000 subscribers on the show while we're on this live stream as well. So that's probably worth a bit of a like, just for that achievement. We've had well over 100 new subscribers just on this stream alone, actually. So that's even better. But I can see the likes flying up now. I can see them flying up. In fact, while they're flying up, let me just check through all of the news. Reposition my seat. Man, you know what? Manchester got warm again this afternoon. Christ, man. It was jumper weather this morning, and it's just shot up to about 24 degrees. I don't know what happened then. I lost my breath for a minute then. Morgan, welcome to the Members Club, gifted by London. Thank you for that, London. 9 likes away from 1,000. It didn't even take you that long, did it? Oh, too good. You're all too good. Too good. Manchester United, throughout the day, it has been bubbling up that they have been getting closer and closer to Brentford's figure that they want to sign Bryan Mbeumo. That figure has now been met. A few more minor details to go over before this deal is finalised, but them details are not expected to be any issue at all. And that is because we know this. Bryan Mbeumo has been given permission to go for his medical. Jadon Sancho is moving closer, and one to watch out for in the next couple of days. Sancho to Juventus. Creative transfer structure is the word coming out of Juve when Jadon Sancho is being spoken about. I have another video which was out earlier on, which you need to go and watch on that one, because there could be something creative in terms of a player coming the other way in that deal as well. And Manchester United are going to buy a goalkeeper. Could it be Diogo Costa? We are hearing today that talks have been held between Ruben Amorim and Costa as early as January for this deal to happen. And he wants him as his #1 goalkeeper. Why does everybody want to come to Man United all of a sudden? It's not negative that I can see anyway. It feels quite positive so far, this transfer window. It really does. And with that, we have just smashed 1,000 live likes, everybody. And on that note, I am going to say thank you. Please hit the subscribe button on the way out. Join the 130 of the people that have done just on this stream alone. And again, I am never going to take that for granted, but still blown away by how quickly the channel is growing, honestly. And seeing the numbers and the people coming in and the chats and everybody's comments. That, I think, is something I'll never forget. But brilliant. Thank you again, everyone. And I'll leave it there. We'll be back later, like I said. A bit to do this evening as well. So I'm going to have to keep my eye on the phone because I've got a feeling it's going to be one of them big update nights. And we'll see what happens from there. Tom has just gifted another membership as well. Thank you, Tom. Brilliant. Thank you, everyone. We're about to hit 1,100 likes, actually. So I will end it there. Like the video on the way out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the early stream. Have a great rest of the day. And I may even see you later on yet. So stay tuned. Hit that bell notification button as well, everyone. Have a good one.